What's going on, everybody? Wanted to come back to you with another video. Thank you for tuning in. The topic is going to be about affordable swim baits. Affordable is, has a different meaning for different people. For some people that may be the $60, $70 range. For some people that may be under 20 bucks. But I have three categories of swim baits, three swim baits that are truly affordable, like under $20 affordable. And what I consider swim baits is things over that 2-ounce range. And swim baits are kind of like, I would equate it to like designer wear or expensive shoes that people wait out in line for. It can be very, very overpriced to catch the same fish. If that's your thing, that's a hobby of yours, all power to you. There's nothing wrong with that. But if you want to throw bigger baits, on swim bait gear, and you don't want to spend hundreds of dollars for custom made baits, or wait for drops certain times a year and things like that, just you want to go throw them around and catch fish, then I'm going to give you some good options that definitely will help you catch fish and not break the bank. And even if you're a swim bait guy and you just need something cheaper in your arsenal, if you're going to be fishing around a lot of cover, a river, somewhere with a lot of current, a lot of snags, something like that, I think it's good to have some more affordable swim baits in your arsenal that still catch those fish, and it's still fun to throw around a bigger bait. All right, so the first category of baits, I actually have two here that I'm going to show you and talk about. But the first category, I didn't bring a specific bait, but it's just going to be those screw lock style hooks on like your Owner Beast hook, a screw lock swim bait hook on like a soft paddle tail. My personal favorite is the Bass Mafia Dangerous swim bait. I know a lot of people say it's a knockoff of the Mag Draft, but in my opinion, it's a lot better. It's a lot more durable. So that's the one I go with now. But any of your, 6-inch, 7-inch, whatever, soft plastic swim baits, whether they be a line through or a screw lock style hook, there's a lot of good affordable options on there, under 15 bucks and definitely under 20 bucks. So look into that. It's something that you always need. It's one of the categories of swim baits that if you're a swim bait guy, you're going to be throwing at some point. But like I said, that's a great place to start for a budget swim bait, and our swim baits, and they catch fish. So there you go. All right, now when it comes to glide baits, wake baits, treble hook style baits, they can get very, very expensive. And I want to say that a lot of new guys that get into fishing, I don't want them to think that the more money you spend on a bait, it equates to bigger fish or more fish. That's not the case, right? Like if a fish is willing to hit a big wake bait, whether it's the $20 wake bait or the $200 wake bait or glide bait or whatever it is, it's probably going to catch the same fish. Even you could say that about soft plastics as well. I could pay 70 bucks for a battle shad, but I can turn around and throw a $7, Mag Draft or Dangerous swim bait or whatever and catch those same fish. If those fish are in the area and they're feeding and your bait is the profile of what they're feeding, shad, bluegill, whatever, you'll catch the same fish. Those fish aren't looking like, oh, that's a $200 bait or that's a $30 bait. Those fish they're predatory fish. Something has the action that entices them and they eat it. So like I said, once again, if that's your thing, throwing expensive swim baits, nothing wrong with that. Bass fishing can be expensive, and that's part of the fun of it. Is for some people is to buy the expensive things and expensive baits. But by no means do you need to do that to catch fish. And any person that's been fishing for a long time knows that more expensive baits doesn't equal bigger or more fish or anything like that. So let's get that out of the way. All right, so we talked about that soft plastic style swim baits, lots of affordable options. You can, whatever you choose to look at, go for it. And there's plenty of budget options, but I'm gonna give you my favorite budget glide bait. There's some out there that some would consider budget and some wouldn't, like the Chad Shad. Some people consider that a budget, but to me that's fairly expensive. That's about as expensive as I want to go for swim baits. But this here is truly a budget. It's under $20, and I actually prefer it over the Chad Shad. I have both of them, and honestly, I throw this way more. If I just have to grab one, I honestly prefer this, and I think it's $17.99. It's this right here. It's the XPS Swerve glide bait. It's a Bass Pro Shops bait. It's an injection molded bait, so it's going to be a very choppy style glide, so typically your warmer water, more aggressive fish. But I really like this clear water shad color right here. So it's a 3-ounce swim bait, so it's definitely, you know, an actual swim bait that you need swim bait gear to throw. But the action is amazing. I've caught a lot of big fish on it. They have some great colors, you know, whether you're fishing clear water, this shade here is real good, or if you're fishing muddy water, they have like a solid white, lots of good colors. That's a great option you should look at. Even if you like throwing expensive swim baits, this is something you can throw if, you know, you're in like around a lot of snags on a river or something like that. So I would definitely give this bait a look and try it out and add it to your arsenal. It's definitely one of my favorite glide baits, and for the price, it's truly awesome. This is something that I'll always have on the boat. So we've knocked out, you know, the soft plastic and the glide bait. Now my personal favorite category of swim baits is a wake bait. I love the cast and retrieve style of fishing. It's a top water catches big fish, we know that. And a big wake bait is just fun to catch. It's visual, I absolutely love it. So I've tried a bunch of different wake baits. I have like 6 or 7 wake baits that I've tried. My favorite is actually the bull wake. For some, that's considered a wake bait. If you want to give it a shot or go buy one, I think they're a great place to start. But for some people, that $60 range is too expensive, and there's nothing wrong with that. And I have an option here once again that's a 2 3/4 ounce bait, wake bait, so an actual swim bait, almost 3 ounces, that's under $20. In the world of swim baits, that's super affordable, and I love that there are some of these options out there that don't break the bank. But with that being said, even if you do have expensive wake baits, whether it be whatever they are, like an MS Slammer, some of them get up well over 100. It's nice to have something more affordable in the boat for, you know, snags. Maybe at nighttime, it doesn't need to look real visual. You know, it doesn't need to be the prettiest. It just needs to have a good action, and you can catch those fish. And you don't always need something that's overpriced and well, I'm not going to say overpriced, but something that's that expensive. To some people, it may be overpriced, but so right here is an under $20 wake bait. And another thing about these more affordable swim baits is that it's easier to let some things slide, right? If I pay $200 for a bait, I'm expecting perfection, you know. It needs to be perfect. The paint needs to be perfect. With these, you can kind of just go out and fish it, and it's like, okay, if there's some things about it that aren't perfect, you can kind of live with it, you know. But this bait catches the same fish, I promise you. The only difference is it's meant to be a little bit louder. It's got a really loud rattle in it, so I find myself not throwing it on calm days. So that's actually a benefit. If it's windy, if it's dark out, things like that, then I'll find myself going to this one anyway, in choppy water or something like that. And you can fish it fast. You can slow it down almost to a crawl, and you can fish it really fast without it blowing out. I'm always looking for baits that I can fish at a bunch of different retrieve speeds. That's important to me. I don't like a 1 retrieve speed bait. All right, so sorry to keep cutting these videos, but I'm up here at my apartment by the pool, and when people walk by, I cut the video. I get distracted, and it messes my train of thought. So every cut that you've seen, I think there's like 2 or 3 in this video, I could talk straight through. And I did film this video before talking straight through, but my GoPro somehow from walking here back to the room, it formatted. But anyhow, that's why I cut it, because it's just awkward to talk in front of people. But back to this wake bait. It's a, the name is a Fish Lab. It's a Bio Shad Wake bait. Like I said, 2 3/4 ounces. This is an amazing budget swim bait. I really don't like this color here. They have other colors. This one's just still in the box. That's the reason I brought this one. But I have like a white one, your shad profile. That's my go-to for this bait. And I've caught some decent fish on it. I would like to see that hook that's on the back. I would rather see that on the bottom of the bait and then have a tail on it. For me, that would really set this wake bait off. I really like that look of a tail back there swimming, but once again, for like 15 or 17 bucks, something like that, it's kind of easy to let a few things slide. So I don't want to go on too long with this video. I want to make it kind of quick, but you know, if you're into budget swim baits, just to give you a conclusion, some of your soft plastic style swim baits, whether they're line throughs or a beast hook, screw lock style swim bait hook. For your glide bait, this XPS Swerve glide bait, I really prefer this clear water shad color, especially since I'm fishing clear water, under 20 bucks. And then this Fish Lab Bio Shad Wake bait, 2 3/4 ounces, once again under 20 bucks. These are 2 really good hard bait options if you're into swim baits and you don't want to spend so much money. So thank you for watching. Hopefully this helps you out. Check these out and let me know what you think.